Looking for something new in dark fantasy, humor, space exploration, time travel, alternative history? They're in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology. Get the 10-volume box set with 159 stories and full color illustrations plus 34 articles with writings and art tips. Get the UPRN discount, $125 for the entire box set. That's a $60 savings for that beautiful box set. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Go to uprntalkradio.com, click on the link, and place your order.
Looking for stories that are fresh and new? Dark fantasy, humor, space exploration, time travel, cyberpunk, alternate history, and more. They're in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology from 24 award-winning authors and illustrators, plus art and writing tips and bonus stories. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Buy your copy at galaxypress.com, Amazon, or wherever books are sold.
Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the show, Into the Night, Tuesday night version of Into the Night. I want to say hi, Sebastian, good to see you. Johnny, hi. Cy, welcome. Amanda, my God, look at all this is what I call awesome people that come and listen to my show. And it just, it brings some heart into me. You know what I mean? It brings some warmth in there, especially around this time of the year. So Sunday we had a good show, and I really enjoyed it. We had a lot of participation with the people in the chat room, and hi Virginia, good to see you. And I hope everyone enjoyed themselves on Sunday. Next Sunday, my show is here 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m. on UPRN Talk Radio, 105.3 New Orleans, 107.7 Mississippi. And so, as everybody knows, and I'll continue this until everybody gets used to it. But I actually am doing two shows now, 2 1-hour shows, Tuesday nights and Sunday nights, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Hey, Cindy, good to see you. Hey, Grandmaster UV, good to see you. Oh, wow. But I'm doing 2 shows on Sundays, an hour on Sunday and an hour on Tuesday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. But tonight, I'm going to stay on a little bit longer just to keep it going. And see what's going on. Pretty soon they'll have a show for me coming up, or someone in front of me. Hey, Casey, good to see you. Hey, what's up, Anthony? It must be my boy Tony. Good to see you all. But next Sunday, I'm going to talk about the different places that I investigated, where we. Not so much the good evidence that we got, because some places that, PPS went to, we didn't really get that much evidence, but the history behind the places that we went to. And I'm going to do that for my Sunday show. I'm really looking forward to that. Everybody, I'm doing okay. Thank God there's only 2 more days until Thanksgiving. No one have to deal with the turkeys anymore. And then give me a week off, and then on to the hams for Christmas. But so I had a good week, pretty busy. Just answering all kinds of questions that kind of like blew my mind, because there were some outrageous questions from my customers at work. But you know what? I know that hit just like really there were some doozies. Casey Mahoney says, "Who could I hook up with to go on some investigations?" Casey, I can tell you a couple groups. Uh, not right now, but I'll get to you. Because right now my mind is set on what I want to talk about. But Casey, I will get back to you on that. That's a promise on that. But so everything's okay. Um, Tonight I'm going to do like an open discussion, and I mean that's with everybody in the chat room, and just talk about the paranormal, cryptids, UFOs, and Bigfoot. Oh yeah, you know what? Me too, Tony. I mean, really, yeah, the Texas Wraith Hunters are pretty cool. Oh yeah, they're the best. So yeah, they are very. So Casey, if you like, oh okay, oh hi Casey, he's a friend of yours. Hey, thank you, but for inviting him in. So so Casey, if you're in Texas, my friend, go see my brother Anthony Sabalis with the Texas Wraith Hunters. They're good people. Um, and so open discussion time, guys. What do we want to talk about? Does anybody have any questions at all out there? You know, um, do you have any questions, or is there anybody that wants to say anything about the paranormal? It seems like to me lately, it seems like that it's kind of like going down. The fantasy of it, going out and getting the investigations, because Indiana, PA, my son went to college up there, but he he's out in Indianapolis now. But it just seems like there's really not too many paranormal investigators or investigating teams out there now. And I don't know what happened. I remember back in 2006 when I formed PPS. I mean, we had a lot of groups, a lot of people were investigating, and Johnny Freeman says it goes in cycles. What put investigations? Ah, okay. Tony got it right. I'm going to put this up on the screen. Okay. Tony says way too much drama and too many chiefs. I can see that, and I've experienced it, my friend. But it's just not. It's not cool to be. Um, have like 3,000, like 3 or 4 chiefs in a group. Because I got to tell you something, and I've mentioned this, and I'll still say it. And if you don't like me, then fine, that's not a problem. But I'm telling you straight out, man, that you have a paranormal group. Okay, you have a paranormal group, and you got a person who runs that group. Okay, so let that person run the group. Don't go in and trying, well, I think I can do better, or I think I can do better with this type of evidence, or I think we should do it this way, or we should do it that way. Okay. And that's not going to work. That won't work. And then what's going to happen is that you're going to have a lot of people choose sides, and it's like one side versus the other side, and it doesn't make for a good investigation. So whoever's in charge, yeah, they're the ones that tell what to do. It's their group. And the person who runs that group invited you to join a group or invited you to the investigation. So, out of respect for that person, you got to do what he's told you to do. Now, if he tells you to go jump off a bridge or stand on your head and sing Yankee Doodle Dandy and spit nickels out of your mouth, then you can tell him to go to hell. But I'm just saying there should be a lot of chiefs. Nobody is better than anybody out there. Everybody is of equal when it comes to the paranormal investigation. Amanda says, do you just investigate or do you help souls move on? Amanda, I do investigate, and I do also help souls move on. I haven't done it in a while. But at one point in time, during when I did all the investigations, yes, I helped them move on. Virginia says, Virginia says, I'll sing Yankee Doodle. There you go. Don't forget, you got to spit out the wooden nickels. And Grandmaster UV is, I'm a part of Steve Bassett's team. Cheers. Okay. Tony says, exactly, brother. That's why I'm able to collaborate with so many teams. Yeah. And it's just by just being in the paranormal field or being in the paranormal groups and stuff, and I'm seeing all my friends out there are going like crazy and stuff and upset because, you know, people just don't, people think that they should be the number one of everything. And if you don't talk to them, and then they cop an attitude and, and they raise hell for everybody else. And I've been through that. I've been through all of that, and, I don't know if this is anything, but, Mike Tomlin said he fired Matt Canada today. And he said, I'm good at taking, I am good at taking, the pressure, because I've been around it for a while, but there's a lot of people out there who have groups that haven't, and honest to God, they just go crazy, man. Johnny Freeman says people are fighting for number one grade school. Yeah. I mean, what's so big about being number one? I can come out and tell you PPS was number one. Tony's group can come out and say Texas Wraith Hunters could be number one. Johnny going out and hunting the Bigfoot, he could say that his group is the number one. But then when you go out and when you start talking like that, when you start talking like that, then you're making yourself pretty egotistical when in this damn field you don't need to be egotistical. Not at all. Tony says, you see the evidence I got from the forest last week? No, I haven't, Tony. But I'm gonna bring you on in December, dude, so we can, put it up. So if you're free in December, we'll do that. Johnny Freeman says, I'm an adult. I have to keep an open mind. And that's true, Johnny. And Johnny, you're so right about that. You have to keep an open mind. If you don't have an open mind and you are someone out there that is so sweet, cool. We'll talk later after the show or tomorrow or sometime this week. But I'm telling you what, you don't have to say that because you're not going to get that TV deal. You're not. Okay? You're not going to go. The best thing that you want to do if you think you're good and you want to show people how to investigate and do it your way, then go on YouTube. Go somewhere else. TikTok, YouTube, whatever. Because you sure as hell ain't going to get the freaking TV deal. No, not at all. Now, it's funny that, you got people, they find out, they see that you got a website and an email for your group, and you're going to have a lot of people come up. You're going to come up with the people who are going to send you emails saying that we're producers of a show. And what they do is that they get your hopes up really, really high. And this happened to me. Honest to God, it did. It happened to me because especially when I first started out, right? I had emails of people wanting me to do a show, do this and do that. And you know what? It never panned out. And I come to find out that they were bogus, Okay, hold on. Johnny Freeman says, I was involved in an incident at Beaver Creek this year. It's on video now. Yeah. And it was a great, everybody, if you go to YouTube and 412 or something, I'm sorry, my brain isn't good. If you can actually do that, my friend, just put it up there and I'll say it. Casey's story is what I believe. Okay. Happened to me in my house. Huh. You should have shared it on Sean's podcast. Planet 412. Thank you. If you go to YouTube and type in Planet 412, okay, about Beaver Creek, Ohio. Um, that's Johnny's story. That's his story. And it's good. I watched it a couple of times. Johnny, did you hear about down in Beaver Creek, Ohio, about the shootings down there in that, was it a Walmart or something down there? Yeah, I was like, that kind of blew me away when I saw that today. But back to the people in the paranormal, man, you're not going to get the big deal. You're not going to get this, and you're not going to get that. And so don't be a bugger. That's what they say in England. Don't be a bugger, because hell, you know what? Just go out and investigate, because the whole world, when we started this investigating back in 2006, 2004, 2002, okay, there was a shitload of egos going on out there, and it was pretty rough. You like that one, Tony? Bugger. I've been watching a lot of British TV, so I hear bugger all the time. But back in the early 2000, 202, 204, 206, yeah, it was really, really egotistical. And people were out for each other's throats. I remember one time I started, and then a group came in and they said, you got to be a TAPS family member in order to investigate. And I'm saying, what the hell are you talking about, TAPS family member? TAPS was that ghost show that started out. And you know what? God bless them. I had a problem with them at the beginning, but you know what? As time went on, I'm grateful that they actually did start a show, because what it did was it opened up a lot of people to call somebody and sit down and talk to them about spirits. Because at one point in time, if you talked about a ghost, you saw a ghost, you were going to the mental hospital. All right. Or they're going to think you were on some heavy drugs. But you know what? But at that time, back in 2006, they're telling me, well, you got to be a TAPS family member. You got to be a TAPS family member. And I'm like, I don't have to be a damn TAPS family member. My name's Sean Kelly. I founded the Pittsburgh Paranormal Society. And I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it. Well, you're not allowed to believe in orbs, because the TAP family members, they don't believe in orbs, so you're not allowed to believe in orbs. That's a bunch of horse crap bullshit, whatever you want to say about it. Okay, I like the orbs. I mean, I didn't spend money on cameras to go out and get nothing. I enjoyed the mist. I enjoyed the bugs. I enjoyed finding something. And yes, I did get a couple of decent orbs. And you know what? Who in the hell has the right to come up and tell me what I can and what I cannot do? Thank you, Cy. Hey, Wayne, good to see you too, buddy. How you go? Welcome to the show. But who has the right to tell us what to do? Who has the right to tell Tony down Texas Race Hunters? Who has the right to tell him what he can do and what he can't do, or whatever stories he's presenting, or whatever evidence that he's presenting, that it's not the right thing? It's not nothing, no evidence, no pictures, no videos. And you know what? And you can talk to these people blue in the freaking face and tell them, this was it. This was it. This was it. And they're just going to laugh at you. Okay. Because when I started, I put a lot of pictures out on Facebook, and they were orbs. Okay. And they were streaks. I would call them squigglies, the ones that go up like that, squigglies. And I got ridiculed. I got ridiculed from other groups. Could you believe that shit? Michael Anthony, how are you, buddy? Have a great Thanksgiving, buddy. Thank you for stopping on. But you know what? That's why. And Johnny Freeman said, that's why I stopped doing so many conferences. Wayne says, we're all different with unique ideas and techniques, which is great, Wayne, honest to Pete. If you have a way of getting evidence from ghosts about anything paranormal, if you got your own way, go with it. But you don't have to push it on people, because everybody else has their own way of doing it. Okay? Mine was different than Wayne's, maybe. Mine's way different than Tony's. Yeah. Tony says, yes, and the fairies, we see them all the time. I had a show on Sunday, Tony talking about the fairies. Yeah, I see them all the time too when I'm out in the woods. And that's okay. If somebody thinks I'm a freaking crazy fool because I believe in fairies, gnomes, and all kinds of the little people out there in the forest, and then you know what? That's on them. For the longest time, I let it bother me. I let it bother me that people thought of me that way and I wasn't doing right. But you know what? Honest to Pete, I don't care no more because I know what I saw. I know what I do. I know what pictures I took. And then after a while, when people were doing Happy Thanksgiving, Cindy, Johnny says, I don't offer it to people, up to them to listen or believe what they want. That's true, buddy. That is so true. And I did for the longest time, but I come to find out I don't give a shit what you think of it. If I took that picture and there's something good there and you want to laugh at me about it, you know what? Go to hell. And the first thing I say to them, okay, the first thing I say to them is like, were you there when that picture? Oh, I'm not done yet. I'm glad you're here, buddy. I know you need it. I think everybody does it. And Johnny's friend Anthony says, "Wow, brother, I needed to hear this." Yeah, um, I do. Johnny does his own thing. Whatever works for you, whatever works. But if you want to look at the whole reality, and I pushed this from day one back in 2006, okay, the paranormal community, I wanted everybody to get along. I wanted everybody to help other people. Okay. I offered my help to other groups. Some came, some didn't. Some had egos, some didn't. But a lot of them at the time that I started PPS, there was a shitload of egos. Johnny Seibel says, hi, Cy, good for you. I took a picture of a fairy outside my window when my daughter was born. I agree with you, Sean. Johnny Freeman says, I never judge others because we don't. You can't judge. You know what? And I'm glad that Johnny brought that up. You can't judge nobody. The only person that can actually judge you is whoever you believe you are going to when you die. Okay. And that's the truth. And like I said before, it really bothered the shit out of me because people were judging me and I was taking all their flack. But no more. It's a paranormal community. It's a UFO community. It's a Bigfoot community. It's a cryptid community. Just because somebody can say something better or think they got better research, it all comes down to freaking a ghost. That's it, a ghost. Johnny Freeman says, I watch people fight for no reason. I sat back and smiled. Right there, same thing, Johnny. I witnessed a lot of fighting. I listened to a lot of internal, and it was over stupid stuff. Honest to Pete, it was stupid. Stupid because they didn't use the right camera, or they didn't use the right focus on something, or that piece of equipment they got, it just doesn't work. But I got the same equipment as you do, but mine works better than yours. And you know what? Seriously, who in their right mind can afford the prices of equipment out there? They're a lot of money. Casey says, I've seen things that were very scary. Yes, Casey. Yes. And, I'm sure a lot of people in the chat rooms, a lot of people who are listening to the show tonight probably saw a lot of scary things too. But when you see something scary, Casey, you really need to go to a person that you can totally trust and talk about it. Okay? Totally talk about it. And it don't have to be very scary. It could be that you're on investigation and you got this really, really good video, or you got this good EVP, just don't go to anybody. Go to somebody who you can trust. You know, Amanda says that she had an experience as ghost as a child. Casey, I'd highly, and that's nice of you, Johnny, to talk about that. Johnny, Casey, hook up with Johnny. He's a good dude, man. He knows his stuff. But you know what? The hell with the hell with all the bullshit paranormal shit that's going out there right now. Write a book. Write a book. You know, if you write a book, guess what? It'll go out there, and then people will start reading it, and then maybe you might get on the list, or the top 100 things of the paranormal thing, the list of books and stuff like that. You know what? Write a book, and then you'll get that. That honor, not the honor, but you'll get that stuff that you need people to make you feel better. Then you know what? Write a book, because that's the truth. If you and you know what, you guys are going to hate my not. No, you're not going to hate my guts, and I'm going to tell them. I'm going to tell it straight out. Those people out there who write books, and that's all they are, books, stories. And I'll tell you, one is The Haunting in Connecticut. Okay. And I researched that, and I researched it, and I researched it because I was really into it. And when I was on Chasing Prophecy, we did a show about it. But what I read and what I saw, it's just any other ordinary investigation. Sebastian says it would be great to see Tony back on. Sean, he's a great guest. Yes, he is, Sebastian. I'm going to get him in December. Okay. I hope you're here whenever you get on. In fact, we're going to get him on the first Tuesday in December. Mark it in your calendar, my friend. But you know what? They wrote a book. Same way with Annabelle. They wrote a book. And all of a sudden, everyone jumps on the Annabelle bandwagon, and everybody jumped on, the haunting in Connecticut. They jumped on that bandwagon, and it's ridiculous. Johnny Freeman says, I had a guy selling his books as true investigating, and he told a few people they were all bullshit he made up. Yes. And that's what happened with Annabelle and the Haunting in Connecticut. There was a movie that came out. It was funny, Lady in Black. It was about a lady ghost that was dressed in a long black dress. The very next day after it came out, I got 35 freaking emails saying that they saw the Lady in Black. Yeah. I'm like, no, you didn't. Maybe some of them did, maybe some of them didn't. But you know what? They wrote a book on the Lady in Black, and now it made movies, and they got their popularity, they got their thing, they got their their pat on the back and stuff like that. So it's all a bunch of bullshit. Go to a cemetery. Seriously, go to a cemetery if you want to investigate. You don't have to go to houses. I remember one group when it started, and I'm not going to mention the group's name, but whenever they went on an investigation, they acted like they were in the military. They couldn't go to the bathroom. They had to get permission to go to a bathroom. And they had to stay in one room for 45 minutes and couldn't leave that room. And the people who ran that, the person who ran that, she ran it like a drill sergeant. And it's like, why? Okay, hold on. Johnny Friend, hello, Stuart. Can't see you on here, but hello. Johnny says we are getting ready to write a book in the future. Awesome, Johnny. I'll definitely buy that. Johnny, when that book comes out, I want an autographed copy of that bad boy. Yes, absolutely. But yeah, they wrote stories. Don't write stories. Go to a cemetery. Go somewhere where you can take a couple people with you and enjoy the investigation. It's not a popularity contest out there. It really isn't. Johnny says it will have Virginia and my name on it. That's cool. But you know what? Go enjoy yourself. You don't have to go out I mean, it's up to you, but you don't have to go out and spend thousands of freaking dollars just on something that might not just work. I mean, I've been on investigations where people had the best equipment out there and got shit, got nothing at all. So the hell with people to tell you what to do and not what to do. You do whatever in the hell you want to do. You run your investigation how you want to. It's your group. Just don't listen to the bullshit. Yeah, Amanda, honest to God, cemeteries are the greatest. And cemeteries, a lot of, it's funny. And you look at all the movies and shit like that, and you know what? Cemeteries are a scary place to go to, a really bad place to go to. Don't you, do you understand that a cemetery or a graveyard, okay, I think a graveyard is like where a graveyard's next to a church and the cemetery's away from the church. But do you know it's hallowed ground? Do you know that a cemetery or a graveyard is sacred? It's hallowed. Nothing can hurt you. Yeah, absolutely. It cannot hurt you. I feel a lot more relaxed when I do a cemetery. I feel a lot more relaxed when I go to when I walk the Allegheny Pike Trail, starting off in McKeesport, PA, down around there. And when I'm with people that want to go out and have a fun time, Cy says that she always leaves 10 silver dimes at the entrance in that grave if you take dirt. True. Amanda says someone stole an angel I put in my grandmother's grave. Ain't that freaking ridiculous? And then that's not right. Going out and destroying. What is wrong with today? You know what's wrong with today? Why do people have to freaking go out and destroy cemeteries? Knock their headstones over. What is freaking wrong with them? It's insane. It's a bunch of horse crap. I mean, horse crap. It's just they ought to. I don't want to get into it because somebody might think I might say something offensive and turn me in, and I'll get everybody in trouble, and I'll get myself in trouble, and I don't want to do that. But I tell you what, damn it, no, people don't need to do that. But I do know on the flip side of that, there are people that go out there and clean gravestones, and it's really sweet how they do it. They'll take like a real old gravestone and they'll clean it, and it's like pretty cool. I know when I went to cemeteries, I would pick up the trash that was out there, or if the flags were down, for the veterans, I'd straighten the flags back up. But I would take care of their homes. That's just like a person coming to your house and saying, well, go in and just freaking destroy it. Because that's the final resting place for the people who have passed away. How dare they go in and destroy it? That's not right. So I'm hoping that karma one day will be like, damn, and bite them in the ass. Because they deserve to be. Cy says, someone stole my grandma's necklace I put on her grave. I've left a lot of dimes and stuff, but they're all missing. And Johnny says, people have no respect, and that's true. Well, I hope karma does get him. Amanda says, yeah, that's awesome. My kids clean up and straighten things up when I have taken them to a cemetery to see my family. Yeah, and that's the sweetest thing in the world that you can do. But I really believe karma will kick in and they will definitely get theirs. And if I can give you one more piece of advice, if you want to go to a cemetery and you're new to, hunting ghosts, okay, the piece of advice I can give you would be go get permission from the cemetery. Now, here in Pittsburgh, most of the cemeteries are run by the Catholic cemetery diocesan, by the Catholics, and they're open gated, okay? And so, and you can actually go in anytime you want to, but you seriously need to call the police in that area and tell them you're going to be in there investigating, because I can guarantee it, the neighbors around that cemetery will be calling the police because they see a lot of people having flash bulbs and light bulbs and flashlights and making a lot of weird noises out there. So always get permission to go. Or when you do get the permission, even though you get the permission, you still call the cops or the police departments up there and you tell them what you're going to be doing, And before I sign off on my little rant here about paranormal investigating, just imagine you, okay? And this is why I love cemeteries too, okay? Say like you've been buried over 100 years, okay? And your spirit is right there, right where you were buried, okay? None of your family visits you, no one comes to see you. And you're just standing there, and if they're smart ghosts, they're lonely ghosts, And all of a sudden, you're standing there by your gravestone, and you're looking, and you see a bunch of people coming on the cemetery, and you're like totally excited about it. And you think to yourself, damn, these people know I exist. Would you not go up to those people and try to make communication with them? That's why I like cemeteries, because out of all the gravestones out there, out of all the spirits that are in that cemetery, okay, I know they're going to come up. And all I have to do is say thank you. And Tony says, yes, that's how they were in New Orleans with us. Yeah. Thank you, Amanda. They want to be heard, and we understand the spirits. We do understand them. And we do understand where they're coming from. So everybody in here, when I'm dead and gone, I'll have somebody tell you where my cemetery plot is or whatever. I'd like you to come out and visit me, seriously, and bring your EVPs with you, your little digital voice recorders with you. And maybe we can have a conversation of some sort. That'd be great. That would be so great. Does anybody else have anything on, Tony, on investigating, paranormal investigating, anything? Does anybody, want to talk a little bit more about? Do they have any questions, or is there situations that is going on that they want to share with everyone? So that's right, Cindy. It's true. They do want to tell their stories. They do. So my last thought on the paranormal investigation, Johnny says, I have a cemetery that when we rode by, a rabbit would be there. I finally had him to come to me. He passed in 1929. Wow, 1929. Wow, that's awesome, dude. Oh, a rabbi, not a rabbit. I'm sorry. I thought you said rabbit. Oh, rabbi. Okay. You know, I'm going to share a cemetery story with you, and I wasn't investigating. This was like about 10 years ago, and it was Christmas Eve. This is a true story. It was Christmas Eve, and I had to go get cookies from my mom's friend. So on the way back, I stopped off to wish my dad a happy Merry Christmas. Okay. And so if you hear a rumbling noise, it's just my stomach, so forgive me. Um, but I stopped by the cemetery on Christmas Eve, and I went up to my dad's, where he's laid at, and I pulled out a chair and I sat down and I just started talking to him. And all of a sudden, as God is my witness, there's like 20 or 30 spirits surrounding me and my, where my dad was laid out, and they were all smiling because none of their families would come out and visit them on Christmas. You know, so God only knows if I ever go out there on St. Patrick's Day. It'd be funny. The leprechauns would be coming out of the woods. That would be fun. Hey, Mud, good to see you. Hello, everyone. Mud says, hello, everyone. I'm always late for the show. Just got home. Ah, well, welcome, Mud. Good to see you, buddy. And I want to thank you, Mud, for coming down to and listen to my presentation down there. That was really nice to meet you. But yeah, so hang in there. Just be a good investigator. Go out and have fun. And if you can, have fun. If you can't, help someone with it, And that's what the paranormal field is all about. Hey, Augie, dude. Yeah, good to see you, my friend. Augie is in PPS. He was in PPS. He is a very good investigator. Good to see you. I hope you will visit me, brother. I'd like that, I want everybody to come and visit me. Somehow I'll get out there and I will somehow tell you all where I'm buried at, or maybe I'll just come, and just pop in and say hi, guys, and move on. I don't know what I'm going to do. Let me ask you this, people out there, okay? Do you ever wonder what it's like on the other side of it? Have you ever wondered, a guy in my group told me about this, and I thought about it. He goes, do ghosts have to stay in one place? Oh, my luck of the Irish. Oh, yeah. Trust me, I see a lot of banshees, buddy. Cindy, I hear a lot of banshees on St. Patrick's Day. And they're living, they're not dead. But there's a ton of banshees. But do you ever wonder what's on the other side? Is the ghost allowed to stay in one place? Or can he move on? What do you think? No, they don't stay in one place. Okay, that's good. So they don't stay in one place, but how do they get from one place to another? How could a ghost or a spirit? I have to tell you, ghost or spirit, whatever I say, I'm not. But how would I get, if I was dead here in Pittsburgh, how in the hell would I get down to San Antonio, Texas to visit Tony? How would I do that? I mean, is it like a flash? They walk through walls, yes. But here's what's the crazy part about that, Virginia. I'm glad I could help you out, Tony. I'm glad I could. But back to Virginia, man, you go to a house where they actually tore down a wall and the ghosts get mad. They get really, really mad. And then that's when they call paranormal groups in. Sly says, I think the Summerland is peaceful, but those who haven't crossed is having undone business. Okay. Hop on the plane. Freighter say, hey, Freighter, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. because you're thinking of physical limitations with the physical meat mind. Ah, okay, awesome. Boy, that makes a lot of sense. Let me put that up here. Okay, let me put that up there, and it says because you're thinking of physical limitations with the physical meat mind. Ah, touche, Mr. Freighter. Touche, my friend. I like that. Man, this says teleport. Slice. Wayne Mallow say we own. Wayne owns a little Victorian home, and I'll put it up so I can read it. We owned an old Victorian home, and I found out by having a meeting with the spirits of the house before I did any renovations, settled things down before they started. And that is the smartest thing, Wayne, that you could ever do. And please, I truly believe that. I mean, we went to a lot of houses out there, where the people didn't mind the ghosts being there, but they didn't want to haunt them like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So what we would do is we'd sit down with the clients and say, make a deal with the ghosts, man. It's like you can have this house from 6 a.m. all the way up to 10 p.m. You can haunt it all you freaking want, right? Oh, hold on, we got her. You can haunt it all you want. But at 10 p.m. at night until 6 in the morning, you're not allowed to do that. And do you know what? It works. It definitely works. Okay. Cindy says she had a ghost in her house, followed my daughter home. Very scary. We could do that. That's happened a lot. Did she get hurt, Cindy? Definitely port. Yes, Virginia, they do definitely go through portals. And yes, you could set up boundaries, and but people need to know how to set up boundaries. You know, but if you sit down, make a deal with them. I guess that's setting boundaries. I guess setting boundaries. You can have the house from 6 a.m. up to 10 p.m., but after that, no, you can't have it, and it works. You make the deal. And Wayne says, "Oh, this sounds interesting." Wayne says to go a step further, they even assisted in finding some of the original architecture that has been buried in the walls from previous renovations. And and I only look at that way you just told me, my friend Wayne, is because they trust you, because they know that you won't hurt the house. Okay, Sai says, yes, Sean, but say you can't come in bedroom or jump my body. I'd never do that. I would never do it. She, oh, come on. Everyone's bugging me now. Not in the show. Yes, Sean, but say you can't come in bedroom or jump my body. I wouldn't do that. No. No, she didn't. She didn't. Cindy said she didn't get hurt, and I moved out of the house. Okay. Um, Sigh. You know what? I can understand the boundaries on that one, but maybe people need to know how to do that. If it was me, I would never, ever, ever jump somebody's bedroom. Never, never do that. No, I don't. No, that's not. But I like what Wayne had to say. You know, doing the assistant and finding some of the old original architecture. You know. Um, so, Cindy, let's go take a look. Casey says, Cindy, let's go take a look. I wish, what do we, how can we teach people like that? You know, we have the smarts for it. We know what to do about it, but, you know, we need to find out how to help people. Maybe, sorry, we'll talk later on tonight or tomorrow. Okay. And I want to talk to you about that. Maybe we can get a room together or something. Or maybe we can do one of my shows on a Sunday and we can talk about it, you and me, Si. How's that sound? I will definitely talk about it with you tomorrow. Okay. Thank you. That's cool. All right. So it is 50 minutes going on. 10 more minutes. I'm going to be taking the break. only 2 minute break. But is there anything else on? Okay. Um, there you go, Amanda. I like that. Yes, the show teaching how to set boundaries. Right. Um, but I don't know. That was a good segment on paranormal thing investigating. I had to rant about it because I never really got the opportunity to rant. Johnny says we are going to put Cy in our room. That's cool. And Casey says, great idea, Amanda. But yeah. So that was great. I enjoyed it. Tony, I hope you're still in the room. But we're going to see what happens. So we are going to talk about, let's talk about cryptids. Okay. Oh, I know it's still, what time is it? Oh, no, no, no. The show's going on. I got an hour and a half, guys. I got an hour and a half today. So about 9:45 it will be over with. All right. I know I said an hour, but I just got the word. Um, I just got the word that, I could do an hour and a half because the person who was supposed to be in front of me never made it up. Um, so I'm going to go an hour and a half tonight, or an hour and 40 minutes. And, but cryptids. And I know Tony has ran into cryptids. I know Johnny has ran into cryptids. Is there anybody else out there who has experienced any type of cryptids? Okay. I guess, I'm really new to, would you even consider cryptids being paranormal? Could it be? Possibility, yeah. Not you, huh, Amanda? I would really seriously would like one time just to meet a dogman. Okay. I really would like to meet a dogman. I would really like to go out there and investigate cryptids. Like go with somebody that's pretty smart on how to what to look for. Oh, Tony says find 2 layers this time. Really? Amanda says cryptids are paranormal. I can believe that. Um, Anybody else? Do they believe that? I want that. I want to. I would think cryptids are paranormal. I guess paranormal is the unexplained. But I do believe that there are a lot of cryptids out there. The Wolfman. Um, I've been doing a little studying about the Appalachian Mountains. Okay. And I'm seriously trying to find somebody that I could bring onto the show and talk about all the monsters that they have in the Appalachians. Cy says they are interdimensional. Okay. Casey Mahoney says, are they paranormal or alien in nature? That's that is true. Could the dog man or the wolf man or the thunderbird, could they be alien in nature? Well, a lot of questions on this stuff. And I know there's a lot of people out there that will actually have, come up with the answers. Johnny says we don't know. Um, uh, but I don't know. I think it would be fun. Seriously, I think it would be really, really fun to go out on one. Maybe we can talk Johnny into going out and doing a cryptid, or maybe find a cryptid hunter and bring them on the show and talk about it because I think that would be very, very interesting. You know, um, Same thing with the Bigfoot. You know, I definitely know that the Bigfoot is definitely an interdimensional. It definitely is. Um, but let's see where she at. Is she up there? No. But what we mean, what Cy meant, and what I meant with interdimensional is that they can pop, they can be on our area, right? They can be in our plane, but when they get spotted, they jump through a portal and go to another dimension. Cindy, that's right. You wanted to know about that. You know, they're on our, on our land. You can see them, but whenever they get spotted by us, they jump into a portal and go to another dimension. Um, Whenever I see or whenever I read something like a Bigfoot being spotted, and everybody knows about this, that I do this is that first, after I hear it, I usually go and check and see what the UFO sightings were going on during that time. Because in my heart, I really believe that the UFOs and the Bigfoot are connected. Mud says the dogman I showed you on picture, Sean, looked shadowy like to me. We heard it run by like it was a solid being, though. Johnny said he proved it. Yes. Yes, he did. You really seriously got to watch that show about Johnny. You know, it was a decent show. Planet 412, I think that's what it's called. I'm not sure in like my mind. I don't know. But, okay. And Johnny says it comes down to what you believe. And I believe that they exist. Do you? Yeah, I mean, there are people out there that do believe. I know I would say 9 out of 10 people in the chat room tonight believe. And you know what? That's great. But when I come to a non believer, I am not going to push myself on that person to make them believe. I said that right. You know. And so if they don't want to hear what I have to say about it, or if they don't want anybody else here to hear about it, okay, then don't push it. Don't push it on them. You know, maybe they're just there to like, see what they can get out of you, but just don't push it. Say, yeah, I saw the dog man, yeah, and I saw it run by me, and yeah, if you don't believe it, that's okay. But that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Johnny Freeman. Okay, 6 years ago, a guy said they're from UFO. Now he says UFOs are demonic. I don't believe that at all, buddy. I don't. They are not demonic. Cindy believes 100%. Tony says, I just take them to the forest and watch them run out. Yeah. But, John, you know what? No, UFOs are not demonic. No. I know I've heard that before, I don't believe it. They're not. He is on the show now. Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about. I definitely know who you're talking about. I'm not going to mention no names. Amanda says, I do believe Bigfoots exist. We talk about that today on Seeing Through the Veil. Would be cool to see the dogman or any cryptid would be cool. Yes, sir. I know you're talking about Johnny. No, this guy really believes they are demonic. Definitely. But I'm not going to mention any names. But listen, it is getting close to the 1 hour mark, right? So what I'm going to do is put on my commercials. See you in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. That's funny. In 2 minutes, and then we will. I know you didn't, buddy. I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about, but I'm not going to say anything. But I agree with you on that. I definitely do agree with you on that. All right. We're going to go to the 2 minute warning or 2 minute break. Everybody go out and go to the bathroom or get something to drink, smoke a cigarette, do what you got to do, and I'll see you back in 2 minutes.
Looking for stories that are fresh and new? Dark fantasy, humor, space exploration, time travel, cyberpunk, alternate history, and more. They're in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology from 24 award-winning authors and illustrators, plus art and writing tips and bonus stories. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Buy your copy at galaxypress.com, Amazon, or wherever books are sold.
Looking for something new in dark fantasy, humor, space exploration, time travel, alternative history? They're in the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future anthology. Get the 10-volume box set with 159 stories and full-color illustrations plus 34 articles with writings and art tips. Get the UPRN discount entire box set. That's a $60 savings for that beautiful box set. L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. Go to uprntalkradio.com, click on the link, and place your order.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. I hope everybody got something to drink or had to do what they had to do. We had a good first 1 hour, first hour of the show, and I'm going to take it for 40 minutes, and then we're going to go from there. Wayne Mello says, I think there was a mistake happened that sometimes some of the reptilian species can be mistaken for demonic. That's true. Amanda, this is Casey saying, Amanda, I can tell you that Bigfoot really does exist. I can tell you the story. Amanda says, love to hear it. I have seen one, but just wholeheartedly believe they are real. So before we get into the last 40 minutes of the show, there's a couple announcements I want to make. The show UPRN Talk Radio 105.3 New Orleans, 107.7 Mississippi. Joe Montaldo, he runs the show, he runs the station. And Michelle Desiree, she, is the station manager. And so next Tuesday, on the 28th, I am going to have Julia and Philip Saragusa from the Horsefly Chronicles. So please, if you do something on Tuesday, please join us. They're another show on UPRN, and I'm really looking forward to having them on the show. But yeah, it comes to the UFOs, and you know what, Joni, I don't believe that they are evil. I mean, and he could talk to all he wants, and but that's his opinion. That's his opinion on what he believes in. My opinion is that they're not evil and they're not demonic, and some people believe they are. And you know what? That's okay. That's okay to do that. And I guess that's what makes for a real good world now. Where people can agree to disagree, or one has one explanation, and another one has another explanation. And you know what? That's cool. It's their opinion. That is true, sir. It's their opinion, you know. And I can't judge him on his opinion, you know. Maybe me and him can kind of like duke it out a little bit. Not fun duke, you know what I mean? I mean, we like to duke it out with each other about different topics, and it's okay. But he is a friend of mine. But I won't. If he believes they're evil, then they're, demonic. They're demonic. Tony says, I didn't mean the UFOs. I meant taking a non-believer to the forest. Oh, okay. Uh, Tony, that's a good question. That's what you said. Now, would you force them to go with you? Would you force them to go to the forest, or would you just ask them? Thank you, Virginia. You can agree to disagree, and that's the truth. You know, and that's what makes the world go round. That's why we live in the United States of America. That's why we have uh, number one in the Constitution: freedom of press, freedom of speech. And you know what? Okay, cool. So Tony will not force them to go into the force, and that's great, Tom. That's great. I would never, ever, ever force anybody to go on a paranormal investigation. Never will. If they want to come along, fine. That's not a problem. But to tell them that spirits exist and try to beam it into their minds, no, never happened. You know. Amanda says, what about taking a believer who's never been? Oh, in a heartbeat, Amanda. Come on. Of course. If you're a believer, you're going. But if a non-believer wants to come on an investigation, I'll take them with them, but I'm not going to force it down their throat. But I will tell you something. I will tell you. Okay. And there was a couple times that I brought people who did not believe in ghosts. And I took them on an investigation, and I just said, all I want you to do is keep your eyes open, your nose open, and your ears open. Okay. And we would go and do our investigation as usual. And then all of a sudden, after the investigation, the non-believer would come up to me and said, oh my God, when we were here in this room, or we were here in this part of the woods, I got touched. Or something touched my hair. Or I felt really cold. And I would say, well, welcome to my world. What you have encountered was a spirit. Welcome to my world. I say that to a lot of people, especially the one like at work. We have a ghost at work, and it creeps all the guys out in our meet room. Of course, Johnny's spirit will show itself. And from my past, experiences, to be honest with everybody, if a spirit trusts you and you have that open mindedness, and they will come to you, even if you're a non-believer. They will come and they will show themselves. Can spirits harm somebody? Yeah. Because my whole theory behind the whole deal behind that is that if you were a bad person when you were alive, and when you die, you sure as hell are not going to be a good person. You're going to be exactly the same bad person that you were when you were alive. And there's a lot of people out there who were negative, who were bad. And I've seen them try to mess with people, the living, and it's just, you just have to be careful when you go out, You just have to be careful and go. And if you want to go out, and I will say this until, I'm 6 feet under. If you've never been on an investigation before, please go out with somebody that knows what they're doing, because if you go out on your own, you will definitely can, and more than likely would, get burned. Amanda Ray says, yes, I believe that's Sean. Sebastian, Sean, Tony, and I could force them to go and then become a ghost, and then they would become a believer. You're crazy, dude. Sebastian, everybody, Sebastian's been with me since I was with Chasing Prophecy with Jenny, and it's good to see him. He's a good, he's funny. He's a little jokester every now and then. He is. And Johnny, you're right. Don't piss them off, because if you start pissing ghosts off, they're going to come back full vengeance on your ass, and then you're going to have to call people to help you get rid of the ghost. You know. I mean, I have done investigations at private residences where other paranormal groups came in and just made the situation a little bit worse for the people. And then when they would call our group, and we'd have to take care of business for them. And you know what, Johnny, I agree with that. That's what they see on TV, and it's true. You know, that's why when I see these ghost shows on TV, I kind of get not mad. I get frustrated. I really get frustrated on that, because sure, it brings in people. Sure, it brings in ratings, and that's all them TV shows are for, are ratings. You know, because what you see on TV, it don't take one night. It takes about a week to get everything together. And then you got your retakes, you got your retakes, you got your retakes. And I will give you experience right now about it, the whole 9 yards with it. I was on a show. In fact, I was on 2 shows. But I was on one show. And so I went to the place. And the producers are the ones that told me what I had to say and not what I wanted to say. I had to do exactly what the producers wanted. And I remember the couple at the house that we were in, okay, they were holding hands on the couch. And they made them hold their hands in different directions or different ways just to get the perfect shot. And they made them do it 13 times. And it just doesn't seem right. It does. I did back in 2012. I had me and Marty Patterson. We had a TV show. We did 13 episodes. It's called Raw Fear. Johnny says, same when I do presentations. I tell them shut off TV, PC, and get up and go in the woods. Yeah, it's true. But you know what? We had a show in 2012. It was called Raw Fear, and I took a bunch of kids that never investigated before. We would film it, put it on the show the following week. But what was different from my show and all the other ones, it was all raw. Okay, it was all raw. I mean, and the point I wanted to get across to people who are watching this show, that not all paranormal investigations that you see on TV are for real. I did a couple ones where we actually did not get no evidence at all. We did not get no evidence at all, but we still put it on TV. And the proof, just to show people that not all investigations are the same. Okay, Bigfoot won't sit. How do you know it won't sit in your living room, Johnny? Johnny says Bigfoot won't sit in your living room. How do you know, dude? Harry and the Hendersons. Remember Harry, that movie, Harry and the Hendersons? Sai says, oh, my high spirit knows about this podcast, and I'm freezing. They want mentioned. Okay, what's her name, Sai? But to the ghosts that are in Sai's house right now, making her very cold, freezing, my name is Sean, and welcome to my show, you ghost. And I'm not making fun when I say that. I'm saying welcome to the show. Just, kind of like not let my friend Sai freeze to death. Oh, who is it? Oh, Grammy, Amelia and Grammy. Okay. Hi, Amelia, and hi, Grammy. Okay, just I guess I'm. It's pretty cool whenever the spirits say, come and watch the show too. You're not inviting Bigfoot in, LOL. Huh? It's funny. Um, I don't know if I would or not. Maybe maybe a small Bigfoot. I don't know. But if I'm out in the woods, which was very rarely, I'm a city boy, and I saw a Bigfoot, I wouldn't run. I wouldn't, because I know I have God who protects me when I go on a investigation. I know Him, and whatever's going to happen to me is going to happen to me. And so, if I meet Him, you know, that would be great. Same way with the dog man. Same way with the Thunderbird. You know, what's that one down in Kentucky, Paducah, Kentucky? Something about a bat, something like the Mothman. The Mothman. Okay, that's huge. That's huge. And one day I'm going to have a show and I'm going to tell you what the real Mothman's all about. But you know what? I don't want to be, I just don't want to get in trouble with a lot of people who believe in the Mothman. Sly says she is never alone in her home. There's always a lot of spirits in my home from Portal. Cool. Johnny says Amelia is a strong, demanding spirit. Point Pleasant. That's right, Johnny. Point Pleasant. Is that West Virginia? I think it's that. I have so many spirits of loved ones with me. That's cool, Cindy. That's great. And Tony said, that's the way I feel in the forest. Whatever's going to happen is to happen. And that's true. And you've had like 4 or 5 different trips through that forest. And you know what I'm going to do when everybody, I'm going to bring my brother Tony on, and he's going to tell us stories about the forest down in San Antonio. Okay. It's awesome. He gets a lot of good stuff down there. Wayne Mallow says, early morning for me tomorrow, so I must say good night to you all. Good night to you, Wayne. Great show tonight, Sean. Have a good night, brother. Sleep well. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you for jumping in. And, don't let the bed bugs bite. I guess that's what he used to say. But, yeah, if I saw any type of cryptid, even with a UFO, and I would say this a lot of times too. It's like, I believe UFOs. I believe there are aliens. But I would actually like to have a UFO land in my backyard with an alien coming out of the spaceship, walking up to me and shaking my hand. Now, to me, that would be the evidence, But no, I will never tell anybody I did it. And then I would tell the alien, I'd be like, yo, man, get me off this earth. Take me to someplace better. Can't deal with it right now. But, yeah, I believe in UFOs. I believe in aliens. I believe a lot of UFO bases are in the waters. Pennsylvania is teeming with UFOs, and that's okay. What is it? The Chestnut Mountains or Chestnut Ridge Mountains up here in Pennsylvania. It's like number 3 or number 4 in the top 10 about all cryptids. Bigfoot, a lot of Bigfoot sightings up there, a lot of, Bigfoot, dogmen, whatever, Chestnut Ridge. Thank you, Johnny. So I plan on going to Chestnut Ridge just to walk it. Brian McClade, welcome to the show, buddy. Lake Michigan waters as well. Hmm. Maybe I have to look up about Lake Michigan. That's pretty cool. Cindy says, yes, I agree on UFO around the water in PA. And I know there's that one dam up there. I forget. It's near Thai Nesta. There's a dam where people actually saw a UFO coming out of the lake, you know, and that's okay. And a lot of people a lot of people are afraid of UFOs and aliens, and I'm thinking, how can you be afraid of them? If they wanted to attack us, they will. They could have attacked us 20, 30 years ago, but they didn't. I would like to sit down and talk to one. What do we got here? Tony says the lives that he did last week from the forest are on my page. Kinzu, that's it, Mud. Thank you. The Kinzu Dam. I mean, there's a lot of paranormal activity that happens up around there. But there's a big thing about the UFO coming out of that dam. Yeah, absolutely. And then you got the Kecksburg ordeal about the so-called UFO back in the 50s, 60s, whenever. So Pennsylvania is pretty like freaking haunted. It's teeming with all kinds of UFOs, cryptids, Bigfoots, ghosts, demons, maybe, if you want to call them demons. I don't know. 1965. Thanks, John. Pennsylvania is a very, very haunted area with everything. And you know what? That's okay. That's okay. But all I know is that, I got about 15 minutes left. So what I want to do is tell everybody thank you for all the input that we got into the chat rooms tonight, It was interesting. Honest to God, I really truly mean that. When I see all my people come in, all my people, all my family, all my friends come in, and it really touches my heart because it really makes for a good show. It really does. And it just warmed hard. Hey, Sire, your people still with you? I don't know. I'm starting to get cold over here. Maybe they came in. But so is everybody ready for Thanksgiving? It's coming up in 2 days. Thank you, Johnny Freeman. I appreciate that comment. And you too. You do a good show too. But Thanksgiving, Arizona is a huge hotspot. I lived there for 4 years. Thank you, Virginia, for the nice comment. Real quick, let's all go to Washington State. Let's all go to Oregon. Thank you, Amanda. Appreciate it. Let's go to Oregon, or let's go to Washington State, walk in the middle of the woods and see if we can find a portal. That would be so cool. But I'd have to have everybody surround me and protect me from the woods because I'm a city boy. Muddy says going to my daughter's for food, then going Bigfoot. Oh, that's so sweet. You going to go down to Ohio, Mud? Cool. We are in. We'll get a bus and get on the bus and go on out. Thank you, Mud. Thank you. And I met Mud down there at the Penn Brewery on the 29th of October. She came down and she listened to my presentation I had down there, and it was really nice to see her. And it was really cool. It was really cool. In fact, yesterday at work, I had 2 people come up to me and told me that oh, you're Sean Kelly. And I just met Sean Kelly, and you're Sean. Oh my God, yay! And that's okay, and I'm not in it for the egotistical things. it just feels good that you were recognized and that I was recognized as something. But what a good show it was tonight. But I want to know, is everybody ready for Thanksgiving? Okay. It's the time for being, to have, be grateful. Mud Ewads. Totally unexpected to meet Sean. It was a great night. Thank you. And because I'm ready for Thanksgiving, I'm ready for it to be over. And people ask me, well, Sean, what are you going to have on Thanksgiving? I bet you're ready to jump into that turkey, that stuffing, the mashed potatoes. I said, no, believe it or not, I'm going to have a cheeseburger. I'm going to have a cheeseburger on Thursday. I am. I'm going to have a cheeseburger. And I'm going to maybe I'll have a turkey sandwich later on in the evening, but I just get so damn tired. Hey, Johnny, I know they got the candy, they got the Christmas candy in the stores. We got the Christmas hams coming in pretty soon. So I will be honest with every one of y'all. Come late December or early January, I'm going to be very, very tired. So I'm going to still continue doing my shows. So if I look like I'm a little out of it, it's because I'm tired. Because this is the busy time of the year for me. And of course, I'm going to draw. Amanda says that she is making a turkey ham family recipe, dressings, and a few more things with my pumpkin pies. You better send one over here to dorm on Amanda because I really do enjoy pumpkin pies. Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate that. So I'm going to draw the 3 cards. Okay. I'm going to draw 3 cards. We're going to go from there. The 3 cards I'm going to draw. Johnny got his Santa suit in October. That's cool. But for the new people that come in or are listening to my new show, the shows, I draw 3 cards from the Animal Medicine deck. And the 3 cards represent the first card I pull will be your past. The second card I pull would be what's happening now. And the third one would be your future. Now, I truly believe that animal spirit guides help us walk through our life's path. Okay, so first one is a new one, the grouse. Please write it down, if you want to write it down and look it up. I'm going to write it down because that's a new one for me, the grouse. Now, the grouse card was in the past. This is the now card. Wow, these are all brand new ones. The salmon. I'll write that down, the salmon. That's the now card. And then the future card, okay, is the elk. Write that down. Blessings to you, Brian. Blessings to you, buddy. Yes, you are so right. Yes, to keep, it is to keep traditions and give thanks to the Great Spirit. That is true. You switched off Amanda. Well, okay, I'm not going to go there. Oh my God. Oh my virgin eyes, Virginia and Johnny. Oh my virgin eyes. Oh my God, that's all. Oh my God. You're welcome, and welcome to the room, buddy. But okay, so Thursday is Thanksgiving, and I hope you get to spend it with the people that you love. Okay, really do. I hope you eat a lot. I hope you watch a lot of football. Okay, and just be grateful to being alive. Be grateful for the people who are around you, friends, family, whoever. Just be grateful. Because the way the world's going now, who knows what's going to be happening? Who knows what's going to happen? I am grateful for waking up every day. I am very grateful that I can spend my Sundays and Tuesdays with you all. And I'm very grateful to everybody that I have met. Johnny, Virginia, Cy, Amanda, Cindy, everybody, Mud. I am grateful for every one of y'all because I know that I got good friends out here. And Cindy says, so grateful for everyone in my life. Yeah, just being grateful is being really, I love it. All right, Johnny, you taking off? All right, buddy, you have a good night. Thank you for stopping in, buddy. Just grateful and just happy. Eat a lot of mashed potatoes because I think the mashed potatoes this year is going to be a good one. Okay, so children, please, if you can, please go and give your parents a hug and tell them that you love them. And parents, please go to your children, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And if you have no parents, if you have no children, find a friend. Find a friend to give a hug. I forgot to announce this early at the beginning of the show, but there's a disease called out there, CRPS. It's a disease that my friends have that you're constantly in pain and there's no cure for it. So if you guys can send some prayers up for my friends and everybody who has CRPS, please give them, say some prayers for them. And what I want to try to do is try to get somebody on that can actually sit down and explain it to us what CRPS is. But you know what? If you see somebody hurting, if you see somebody that just needs someone to be around them, or somebody sends you a message, or somebody makes a phone call and they're hurting, please listen. Please listen to them. Please talk to them because they're going to need you. They are definitely going to, especially during the holiday season, they're definitely going to need you. Because I'll be honest with everybody here. And you know what? I know I can count on each and every one of y'all. Amanda says, I have malformation and there is no cure. So I understand prayers for your friends for sure. Well, we're going to have to pray for you too, Amanda. You know, I'm going to have to look that up and maybe I'll look it up and see what it's all about. I'll pray for you. And everybody, I just want to say, have a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your families. Enjoy watching football. And definitely just be grateful for everybody around you. And on that note, okay, I am going to say goodnight. And don't forget, next Tuesday, I'm going to have Julia and Philip Saragusa. Tony, thank you for being here too, buddy. So on that note, good night, happy Thanksgiving, and I will definitely see you next week.